In this video tutorial, I am going to design this model. The top view and the section view of this model is given, and we are going to design this top surface on the top plane, and then we are going to add the pad, and then we are going to add this counter board. So the dimensions are given in inches. Let's start it. So go to start, mechanical design, part design, name the part, and first we needed to verify our units. So the units are given in inches. We needed to change the units because the selection of the units are now in millimeter. So go to select this length, and top down menu select the inches and click OK. So first I am going to select the top plane, and I am going to sketch on this top plane. So select the XY plane and open the sketch on this plane. The normal view is in front of us. So first of all, I am going to select the circle tool, and I am going to draw circle, and then select the dimension constraint, select this circle. The diameter of this circle is given, and it's 0.5. Just zoom it and pan it, zoom it little bit more and pan it to a visible position. And then I am going to select the profile tool and just draw some line to make the sketch similar to the drawing. Don't worry about the dimension and constraint, we are going to add them later. And again select the profile tool and draw similar sketch. Now we are going to add some constraint, and first I am going to make this line and this line the symmetric. I am going to add the relation between them, symmetric relation or constraint. I am going to select this line, press the control and select this line, and then keep pressing this control and select this vertical axis for our reference, and add the symmetry between them. And then I am going to select this line, press the control, select this line and this horizontal axis, and add the relation symmetry. And same, I am going to select this line, press control, select this line, and keep pressing control, select this axis, and add the relation between them, symmetry. So we just added the symmetry relation between this line and this line and this line, this line, this line, this line. Now I'm going to add some dimension between them. So I'm going to select this line, add the dimension constraint. This dimension is given as 0.05, and this is also given as 0.05. The distance between this line and this line, I selected these two lines by pressing the control and add the dimension between them. This dimension is 1 inch. An angle between this line, press the control and select this line and add the dimension constraint. It will select the angular dimension because we just selected the two lines which are not vertical or horizontal, and so the relation between them is added the angle, and the dimension is automatically selected for the angle. So this angle is given as 30 degree. And same, select this line, press control, select this line, and this is also 30. So as you see, the whole sketch is fully defined. The green color is for fully defined, when this my selection for the color is green for fully defined. So this color is telling me that the every line, every circle, every arc is turned into green. That means this sketch is fully defined. We don't need it to add some other dimension or constraint. If we try to add some other dimension for this sketch, it will over define our sketch. So I just needed to trim this portion and this portion, and then I am going to pad it. So select the quick trim, just select this one, again select quick trim and select this one. These two portion we don't need it. We just want our sketch close sketch, like we don't want some section. If this line we don't trim it, there will be some section, and then the pad command will not work, and exit the sketch. This sketch is selected. Make sure this sketch is selected when you are going to select the pad command. Like if I am going to click here, this sketch is not selected because the all lines are white, and I am going to maximize it and select this circle. Now you see the color is changed. That means this whole sketch is selected, and this dimension is given as 0.5. so I am going to select the length of the pad definition is 0.5 and click OK. Just pan it here. Now I am going to select this top surface, and I just want to add some holes. I'm going to select this top surface and then select this hole. We can also like make these holes the contour board by sketching, but the hole is given. It's very easy to add them, and it will also save the time. So I am going to select this surface and then hole command, and under the type is simple, so we wanted contour board. I am going to select it and just add dimension. The dimension for in this preview you can see the two dimensions are selected, and under the type we are going to add these two dimension. So this dimension is 0.25, and under the depth it's 0.13, and go to extension, and in the preview you can see the two dimensional also selected. So for the diameter, this smaller diameter of hole, this diameter is given as 0.13, and this depth is we wanted it through the model. So I'm going to, under the blind, I am going to select the up to last and preview, click OK. And I think we just made some mistakes in our selection, so I am going to select hole and define the object. So go to type. As you see, the diameter is not for the contour board, the diameter is not correct. Its diameter is 0.25. select it, go to extension, and then just position our sketch by selecting the positioning sketch. I am going to select the position sketch and just pan it here. As you see, this point is basically the center of our holes, our contour boards. So we needed to make this here in the middle of it. So I am going to move this like here, and to add the center I'm going to select this and this point, select these two, this arc and this point, by pressing the control and go to add the constraint definition. And under this definition we needed to add concentricity, because this point, this is the center of our holes which we want to add, and this circle has a center in the middle, so that's why we are going to add the concentricity constraint between these two things. So select the constraints here. Okay, as you see, this point is in the middle and it also turned into green. That means it's fully defined, and exit the sketch and then preview. As you see, it's like in right dimension. Then we needed to add the draft between these two, between the surface of this model, as you see in the diagram. So I am going to select the pad and under the draft definition, under the type, we just going to select this constant type, and there is a variable. So the angle of our draft is 4, and faces to draft, select this one and just select the faces which you want to sorry which you want to add the angle, or which you going to add the draft command. So I am going to move it here and then select this surface, rotate it, select this one, rotate it, select this one, and select this one, and then just select. So all these faces we wanted to add the draft, and under the selection neutral element, which from which element you want to add, I am going to select this surface. So as you see, if you can preview, you can see you can observe over the draft which is added. Just click it here and observe it. So as you see the angle, some angle is added. I'm going to select the right side view, and I'm going to observe it. So as you see, this draft angle is added, like you can observe it in the in our drawing. Just go and select the isometric. I'm going to add the definition, and as you see, for the neutral element selection, we selected the bottom, and this direction is in that, like it's adding the draft, and this this point, if you observe from this point, the angle is added in like that, like this thickness is decreasing as it's going in that direction. So we can change that direction by clicking on that, and now if you preview it, you can see what happened. So go to draft, select object definition, and just change this direction in to opposite direction, because we wanted that direction opposite to that. So like if I am going to select this hole and select this surface as for our neutral surface, and just unselect that surface, and as you see under the preview, click OK, and as you see this, what is going to happen. So we needed to change that direction, and change it in that direction, because our neutral uh, face is in that direction. So we needed to make in that direction, and click OK. Now you can see that, now you can observe that by going to isometric, and you see this length is large, and then it's going to decrease it, and this length is increased. So angle is added in that direction, and if you observe that in the right view, now you can see that this is the right way, and this is the right thing according to our direction. So you can like play with this uh, edit definition, and you can like observe that our selection is right or not for the draft. And just go to isometric view. Now we needed to add the holes, some cut here on this surface, on the bottom surface. So I just rotated the model to see my bottom surface, and I'm going to select the bottom surface and open the sketching on this surface. And we just needed to add two cuts here on this side, on this side. I'm just going to draw one cut, and then I'm going to mirror it on to the other side. Just pan it here. I'm going to add the dimension, and this dimension is 0.05. 0.05, and this dimension is also given as 0.15. 0.15, and this must be in the middle of this sketch, so I'm going to select this line, press Ctrl, select this line and this line, and I am going to add the relation between them, symmetry. So like this line must be in the middle of like from the origin, and again I'm going to select the constraint, and as we know this angle must be 30, and we needed to add the position dimension for it. I'm going to select the dimension constraint from this to this. This is given as 0.05. 0.05. Now as you see it's fully defined, and by adding this symmetry relation, this line is in the middle of like this axis, or the midpoint of this origin. If we don't add this symmetry relation, then we needed to define from the origin to this side or this side the position dimension of it. Hope so you understand why I added this symmetry, or if I don't add this symmetry, what I needed to add to fully define this sketch. So this sketch is done, so I am going to select this whole sketch, and then I am going to mirror it with this reference. So I am going to select this line, press the Ctrl, select these 4 lines, and then go to mirror and select this. It will be mirrored with the reference of this axis on the other side, and exit this sketch and select the pad, and just verify that the direction of the pocket definition is correct, and under the type dimension this depth is given as 0.45, and it's just added. Now we needed to add the draft angle between these two surfaces. To add the draft, I'm going to select the draft under the type constant, angle is given as 8. So I am going to select the 4 because the 4 is already added, and this pocket definition, the angle is this draft definition, the angle is 8, but we already added the 4, so we just needed to add 4 more. So I am going to select this 4 under the face to draft. I am going to select this and then rotate it like that, and select this one, and then select this and select this one, and then we needed to define the neutral. So I am going to select this surface as a neutral surface and this surface as neutral surface, and click OK. And as you see, it's added, but it's added in the opposite direction. So we just needed to like play with this, and this direction I'm going to select in that way, and now as you see this is added. You can observe it in that, or you can also see that by going to section view. So I am going to make it isometric. This is done. We are good. Just